Hi, Intuitive viewers. It's Kim. How are you? I am so excited today because we have Lori with us from The Way of Positive Change. And this is kind of a year in the making, right, Lori?
It is. It's been a good year.
We were in contact a while ago and then we dropped the ball, I guess, and then here we are again. So I'm so excited though to have Lori on Intuitiview. So, and I have a lot of questions for you, Lori, because you know a lot about a lot of stuff. So enlighten us. So first I want to ask you though, how did you get started in this whole world? What was your first tool? What was your introduction to all of this stuff, metaphysical, new age, whatever you want to call it? And then what made you start your channel?
Well, to answer the first question, I have always been a dreamer. And I actually started having lucid dreams. However, I didn't know that's what I was doing. And I was 18, 19 years old, and no one could answer my questions. I couldn't find, it wasn't like we had Google then.
Right.
It was about 3,000 years ago. So no one could help me. No one had the answers. There certainly wasn't a teacher or professor that I could talk to. You know, no one in my family knew what was going on. So I got out the phone book and I looked up where a metaphysical store, a new age bookstore was. And there was one here called Planet Earth. And it was owned by a very dear friend of mine now, Mary Alice Warren. And I went to go talk to her, and she showed me the dream book section, you know, mm-hmm. And then the more time I spent there, I shuffled over to this section and tried runes and tried some I Ching and learned about astral travel, and then picked up the tarot and that was my tool. That was the modality that fit me best.
Interesting. And so did you start doing readings for other people right away, or did you just do them for yourself mostly?
Mostly for myself. While I was studying, I actually started reading for people in 1989-90.
Oh, wow. So now what made you start a YouTube channel? Because that's it's a big, to me, it was scary, but it also is putting yourself out there in such a public way to be, you're very vulnerable because people can say whatever they want to you. So what made you decide to do that?
Well, I saw a couple of other readers and I liked what they were doing. But most importantly, we all went through the economic crash and the housing crash in 2006, 7, and 8. And it really hit Florida very bad. And I read for a lot of mortgage brokers in the area and real estate people. And I knew that they were starting to do those kinds of loans again. And I was really getting worried about our economy. And with DJT in office, I was really concerned. So I just wanted to try to go on and help people to know, not to take those kind of loans and where the economy was going, what was going on with this guy in the White House.
Oh, wow. And so it was really to, and because I feel a lot of us felt like we needed to let people know things, but to, know what, that my thing was like, it's going to be okay. He's going to go eventually. The country would survive. That was just the message I got right away and the loudest. And I just knew I needed to let people know, otherwise it wasn't going to go away. And I didn't realize the bigness of it at that time. I think I would have been too intimidated if I knew everything that was going to happen up until this point, because it was just a lot. So, but that's interesting because it's the same kind of feeling of wanting to help people and wanting to help people avoid some kind of catastrophe, whether it's economic or, spiritual or whatever. So that's really interesting that's kind of what pushed you into doing your channel. So I know that I didn't realize how much you know about crystals, but you said you had a store, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a couple of very basic questions about crystals because I don't know anything about crystals. And to me, it's kind of like buying a boat. when you buy a boat, you have to learn all about boating because otherwise you're going to have issues. And I feel like crystals are kind of that way. It's kind of like there's a lot to know and there's a lot to learn. And so for someone like me who's like, oh, they're pretty, it's intimidating, to think there's so much to learn. But I had a couple of basic questions I thought might help. Well, it definitely helped me, but I thought maybe it might help other people who might be a little intimidated by the world of crystals. So the first question is, when you walk into a metaphysical store or a new age store, you always have crystals on one side and you've got them in jewelry and pendants and in cases, and there's usually, can be very expensive. And then on the other side of the store, you have baskets of rocks, baskets of like stones, different kinds of stones. So what is the difference? I mean, besides the price point, what's the difference between these as far as what they do for you or what they can do for you?
Well, I mostly had mine sectioned out and I had, each crystal has to tell its story. So I put on the computer and made out cards for each crystal. So everyone could, if you liked it, you could tell what it was for. But I think one of the most important things I've learned in managing a metaphysical store and then owning one myself was that it's really important to not only buy the crystal that you're particularly attracted to. You're going to be attracted to a certain kind, but chances are you're already working with that frequency. That's what attracts you. That's what you know. That's what's great. However, more of that isn't always the best. So you should always try to pick out one that you're not attracted to. And then read that card. And will that crystal help balance you out? So that was really beneficial to learn about.
Interesting. And so where do the stones fit in when you have like the little stones, like the little, like these, like little stones like these? Where do those fit into this? Are they less powerful? How do you
size doesn't matter.
The two?
Size doesn't matter. And I think when you're saying stones, I think you're saying like when they're tumbled and they're tumbled into little small, round, smooth. And then a lot of stores will have like a little, a box or area where several are thrown in together and you can select a few out of them.
Right.
Okay. So those are crystals. They've just been tumbled and smooth, not in their original form. And they aren't any different than one that's cut into points or in its rough form. Mm-hmm. So if it's rough like this, or if these are very similar crystals, or if it's double terminated and cut, there is no difference. Okay. They're the same crystal.
That's okay. That's great. That's so helpful to me. And so I'm wearing I have like a rose quartz one, and that was going to be my next, you kind of went into my next question, which is, I am always attracted to rose quartz, always. And people always send that to me, that whenever they pick, a crystal for me, whether it's, for my birthday or whatever, family members, they always choose that one for me. The other one I'm attracted to is the clear, just the clear crystal. So what are those? Why is that? And why that has never changed? Like over the years, it's never changed. What do those two mean? And why do the crystals call out to you? Is it like it is just kind of a frequency thing? You kind of match that frequency. And if I'm getting the opposite, what would that be? What would it be?
Okay. So the pink crystal, the rose quartz, of course, has a connection to the heart chakra. So if you're looking at the chakra chart, it'll be pink or green for the heart chakra. Okay. And so it's a very soft, loving, love everyone, self-love, kindness, everyone be kind crystal. And that's why you like it, because that is your personality. Oh, so it's natural. But it is a type of quartz. So it is rose quartz, the same as clear quartz is. Okay. Clear quartz is an activator. It just raises your energy. And crystals are programmed, so you can program them to help you achieve or bring extra energy or boost to any area of your life. And so probably an opposite for you would maybe be one of like obsidian or any of the black crystals, obsidian, jet.
Okay.
It goes to the other. Those are very protective. Black tourmaline, very protective, negative, absorbing crystals. And that would probably be very opposite of your rose quartz. And you probably would not be attracted to this because it's not pink.
Yeah. Well, good. Okay. So that's so interesting to me. And I don't feel as intimidated now. At least I have a little knowledge and I can build on that. So that's great. So let's go into kind of our questions, and they kind of are, around the election and stuff. And I think a lot of people have a lot of anxiety. How have you felt this past few days? Have you been?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm doing everything I can to spend quite a bit of time outside in between readings, or always in the morning because it gets hot in Florida, of course. And I got this shirt specifically for this period time frame of this coming few days. And like I said, I did a lot of grounding. I am a blue dot in a red sea. So there's a lot of trucks and flags and boats and, a lot of my friends are Trumpers. A lot of people that I read for are Trumpers. So.
Wow.
It's difficult. So you just have to, doesn't mean they're bad people. Sometimes it does, but I just have to, just keep bringing up my own vibration and helping people to take care, self-care and grounding, and not to worry that we're going to be okay. Right. All the things that you say on your channel.
Right. That's great. People will be so happy to know that.
Well, a lot of people are very nervous and anxious. So it takes a lot of self-discipline to get yourself out there to ground and raise the energy.
Okay, good. Okay. Whew. All right. So let's go into these questions. So the first question is what the general kind of energy will be on election day in the country. And I kind of look at things early just because I don't know how long it will take me to get, I do all mine through like just meditation and prayer. So I don't know how long it will take me to get answers. But for me, what I felt like, I feel like I was expecting it to be, really anxious and upset. And so, but I feel a lot of excitement. It feels exciting to me. It feels like people are ready. It's like, we're here. Let's do this. It feels very, determined, a very determined feeling. It wasn't what I expected. I expected a lot of anxiety and nervousness and worry, but I really felt like people were determined and they were ready for this and they had worked up to it. And here we are, and let's do this. And it felt very exciting. It felt really, it's almost like people know what's about to happen. So I feel like they're excited. So that's what I got.
Yeah, I think they are excited. I'm definitely excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that explains it very well. Everyone is trying to do their part. The Two of Cups here. But right below it is, the two people that are in the Two of Cups are also pictured in the Lover's card and in the Devil card.
Oh, right.
So this is all about the choices that you make. So there is fear.
Right.
There's feeling of being trapped. How can I do this? This is the major arcana. So this is stronger than this minor arcana. And, but they know intuitively, like you're saying, this is going to change the world. This is a portal, a gate card. And then there are some people that are just wanting to hold on to the power, and that concerns everyone. And it's a waiting game.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So the next question is more about Trump himself. assuming that he loses, we're assuming that he loses. What is his state of mind? What is he going to be, at that point? What's going to be motivating him? Where is he at that point? What's his state of mind? His plan.
When he finds out that he's losing?
Yeah.
If he loses and he finds out that he's losing, what's he going to do?
It's weird. I'm getting like different things now that to me, there is a lot of like fear and panic. But there's also this kind of, I'm kind of like, I'm glad it's over, because now I can go into plan, the next plan, whatever the next plan is. It's like, okay, that's done. So let's do this. I feel like he has made some deals and plans with people. I feel like he thinks he has some sort of, some cards left to play, not really for the election, but to get out of things, to get away from things, to keep his money. And for some reason, I'm seeing like a lot of lawyers involved. People that he's calling and contacting to get advice, talk to. It feels kind of frantic, a little frantic, but it's also like, okay, let's just get on with, let's get on to, the next thing I have to worry about. Let's get into that. It's very much like a shift in energy of like completely absorbed in the election. And then like, boom, I'm completely absorbed over here. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I bet that is exactly how he's going to feel. It shows I always get this card for him because he is always on a teeter-totter of emotions, up and down and up and down. And the ocean describes it very well, or where the ship is going up and down and up and up. Right. He's not balanced, to say the least.
Right.
And I firmly believe that he has already hatched a plan on what he's taking. He's going to try to take as much as he can. He is going to go for the coins, winning at all costs. He is going to say, this is my sneaky Pete card. He's just going to take it. I don't care how you feel. And then where am I going next?
Right.
I'm going to take it all.
Right. Guy, I swear, I'm so done with him, Laurie. I'm so done with him.
It's on the bottom. Yeah, he's been working this for a while, he's been working it. Also, I feel like he's, had some talks with Pootie. I always get for Putin. And I think he knows that relationship isn't going to be supported because he can't perform anymore for that, right?
Right. I did, in one reading I can't remember if it's the last video that I did or the one before, I did see him like trying to call in favors, basically getting in touch, like you said, Putin, Erdogan, people like that, telegraphing like, I need your help. I'll do for you if you do for me, that kind of thing going on. So I think you're right. And I think even after the election, but I think it's going to be such a shock, I think, in a way to him, that he will just be kind of thrown away because he doesn't, that's what he does to other people. But I think he's going to be surprised it actually happens to him.
That he's expendable.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, big surprise. Okay, so, and assuming he loses again, we're just going to assume that, how will his supporters take it? What's going to happen with them? And this was interesting to me because this, for me, was split. It felt like there was a portion that were like, no, this is not going to happen. We're not going to accept it. We're going to, have little violent outbursts here and there, whatever, shoot our guns in the air, be angry. And then this other section that was just like, oh, okay, we're done. What do we do next? Or where are we now? Who do we support now? It is like two fractions that are completely opposite of one another. One is just furious and won't let go, and this other part is just like, oh, I guess that's it. That's, that's the end. And what do we do now? So I don't know. That's what I got. And I do think there'll be some like little skirmishes here and there. I don't feel like there's anything big and giant and organized uprising or something. I feel like it's very little pockets here and there. Midwest, some in the South. I just saw something in Michigan, but that's what I'm seeing anyway.
Okay. Well, I hope hopefully that it will stay small. I am seeing a little bit of chaos, some drama, some fighting, and they're going to claim that it's stolen. So they're going to say it is it. We don't want to look at the truth. We don't want to see it. They had to have stolen it. So, and that's deception. Both of these are deceptive. With the moon card, it's deceiving, and there's an eclipse, and especially matched with this 7 of Swords, we can't see everything, and they don't want to admit that this could mean the end for them. They don't want to admit it.
Right.
And they really think that it was stolen.
Is now that first card that you did, the wand card, I'm not sure which wand card that is, the first one with all the fighting. Does that card indicate violence, or does it indicate like more arguing and that kind of thing?
If it is aspected by lighter cards, then it's can be just, jousting or some arguments or just a little drama or competitive remarks. Mm-hmm. But when it's aspected by these other negative cards, then we take it to, there could be, this is people not getting along, and it takes it, it heightens the energy to take it to a more negative place. And we mostly have negative cards here. It's when it's all swords like this,
That's crazy. Yeah.
Pretty
it's
tough.
A whole lot of swords. That's a
whole lot of swords.
A lot of swords.
Many for
well,
me.
And we kind of we've seen this. It's so strange that there are still this many people who believe he's just telling the truth. I just am like, how can they not see that he's just such a liar? But I don't know. They want, I guess they want, and those cards too indicate we just don't want to see it. We don't want to, we're going to believe what we want to believe.
And they don't want to look at themselves. And, we're talking about some of my family members here too. So it's
mine too.
So I go on Fox News about once a week just to see what they're being told so that I know what they believe. And they really can't help it if they really think they're being told the truth.
Right.
And they're not intuitive like you and like most of us or any of your viewers that are all light workers.
Right.
Right. They're not into that. They're in total left brain rational, or irrational. They're not in their intuitive mind. They're not looking for expansion or enlightenment in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Now, when you watch things like Fox and things like that, do you do any kind of protective something? I mean, I just wondering if you feel like it actually does have, because I feel even watching him, I kind of have to separate, get in more the observer position rather than like, because I will get emotionally involved and I don't want to. I want to kind of pull away. So what is your do you have a technique for watching something like that? Or, when you...
Yeah, I only do it one day a week, and I have to be in that frame of, like you said, observer. And I don't think I am as empathic as you are. I don't think I pick up on it as much as you do. Uh-huh. And so I can observe. I just need to get a full grip of what lies are being told or what's being spun so that because I see my family twice a week because I just had a granddaughter. So.
Oh, congratulations. How exciting.
So we must get along.
Yeah.
And I need to know what to expect in case somebody trips over the no politic talk line.
Right, right. Yeah, we do the same thing. I mean, we have things that we have in common that are in other areas, and we just avoid it. I did lose it a little bit on Facebook, I have to admit. So, but it's you get in those you have those days where you just can't
Who
take it.
hasn't? Yeah, who hasn't? But it never works. No one.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It just makes you feel a little better because you're like, there, I told them. So, okay. So, let's see. So the energy, what is the energy between, assuming the ball is going to Biden, Harris, what does it look like between November and January during the transition? It's weird. It's so strange because it is so split. I feel like half the country is so relieved and so happy, and the other half is again, some are just like, oh, I guess that's it. But there is this fraction we're talking about that is just kind of will not is really angry about it, looking for some kind of outlet. As far as, kind of like the Tea Party movement, that kind of thing. They're looking for some kind of organized way to say, this is not, we don't agree with this. We don't want this guy or whatever, to stay in that mode of whatever you want to say, resisting what's happening or resisting reality. And I'm seeing like pockets of violence, and I feel like the inauguration is not going to look anything like a regular inauguration. I feel like it's going to be either just televised or it's going to me, it doesn't feel normal at all.
It would probably be a drive-in or something.
Yeah, a drive-in. But it feels just different. It doesn't feel like a regular, thing. I don't even, and I, for the longest time, I've not even seen Trump at Inauguration Day. I feel like he's gone, or won't show up, or he refuses to accept the result or something because he's not there. I never see him there. I always see just Pence and, the main like Republicans and Democrats, but I do not see Trump there. So what do you got?
So he probably doesn't have the emotional IQ to see that through. I mean, he's probably going to say, all right, well, if you don't like me, I'm going to go home. I'm taking my wagon and I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
I don't think he has that ability to have those talks, and the transition and hand it over. So I think you're right.
Right.
Yeah, I'm still getting, this is the card, they just don't want to look at it. And it's heartbreaking to them.
Yeah.
And that's also the card of being separate, divisive, separation. And then it gets better. Oh boy, then it's not. I thought, oh boy, okay, it gets a little bit better. I think he's going to do something nasty. I do. I think he's going to, how he was calling Kamala nasty. I think that he's probably going to do something to try to feel victorious. Like, see, I'm going to mess this up. And one of my deep emotional, irrational behaviors. He's just not with the, this would be a nice transition card. The Three of Pentacles, everyone's a team player in a collaborative effort. But no, he's Mr. I'm up, down, and all around personality. He doesn't know how to do that. So that's
interesting.
It's very imbalanced.
It's weird. I almost feel when you said that, I almost felt like he would try to do like his own event or something. Not like he's going to be like inaugurate, but I feel like it's like almost like he's trying to take the attention, from the moment. It's
totally see that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really
like have another rally.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's a separateness. So yeah, that I think that's really good. Yeah, and this could be even something in another.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
He's not going to be a team player.
No, he's not.
He's too irrational.
Now you wanted to look at DeSantis, right?
Yes.
Because I talked about it. He just kind of came up yesterday. I think it was yesterday in a reading that I did. And I just felt like there was something coming for that guy. I felt like he was they might even like recall him or something, but I feel like he's going to try something in Florida, but I feel like he's going to get caught, or I feel like he's going to be found out. But I feel it's so weird. I get that guy. I always have the feeling that he is such a kind of a bully with the people that are under him, but he is such a kiss ass to people that are above him. He's just that smarmy kind of like character, because I feel like he's so sycophantic when it comes to Trump. He's just like all over him. But I feel like he's just such a dishonest guy. But that's what I saw, was that he was going to do something, but I thought he might get caught or caught out. And I just felt like there was something that was going to come his way. He may not be in his full term. Something may shorten that. And he may be in some trouble. So what do you think about that?
From your lips to God's ears.
Yeah.
Well, we here in the South call him DeSatan.
Oh, right.
His name's DeSantis, like you said, but we call him DeSatan. And he fired the creator of the numbers board for counting the COVID from Tallahassee. He top scientist who created the dashboard. He fired her because she wouldn't downplay the numbers. So there's already a thing going on with him about the numbers not jiving. And there's been several laboratory dumps and then he also purchased from DJTA, I think, a bunch of the Abbott rapid tests, like the ones that were used for the ceremony for Amy Coney Barrett.
Oh, right.
Where some they were positive, but they tested not positive and then got sick later in the day. Hope kicks. So those tests aren't that great, yet DeSatan purchased a whole bunch of them. So he thinks he's king. He thinks he's king. It's all about his ego. But there's a lot of confusion here. He did deals with him. There's been an exchange of coinage. And he thought that was a wise investment. He played with big money, big money. Happy. If he gets found out with this, it's going to take a little bit. So I think you're right, but it's going to take this big change that we can't see yet.
Okay.
I don't think it's a short-term fall of grace. I think it's after this whole change, and I'll probably have to revisit that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I think it's one of those, and I think, that for people like him, the energy will change so much after the election, because they'll start scrambling or changing their ways or, whatever. So I think you're right. I think it just has to be revisited after the fact again, because there's something there. Clearly he has done something. And if you don't mind, do you mind looking at Texas and Florida? And I know that things are in motion right now. We're not, I think the most accurate time will be like the night before election here, you know, that morning or whatever. But where do you see Texas and Florida right now? I for I've always seen Texas going blue. It seems impossible, but I've always seen that. I got that in a private reading months and months ago, just by accident. It just came up. And then Florida, I'm on the fence. I can't get a clear picture of what is going to happen there. And I think it's because the votes may be there for Biden, but I feel like there's going to be so much cheating and so much voter suppression. And I just feel like it's kind of like, yeah, it's I can't get a clear picture of it. So do you want to look at that and just see what you get for those two?
Well, DeSantis, you know, he's backed by, when I see the 10 of Pentacles, that lets me know the big campaign donations come from big sugar, because a lot of sugar is produced in Florida, and that's how the Lake Okeechobee gets polluted, and that's a whole nother story.
Oh, right.
So let's look at Texas first. Okay. Do you feel like the whole state will go blue?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think he'll just get the state. You know, he'll yeah. I think it'll go to Biden. So at least a majority.
Have to really remove myself out of these questions.
I know. It's hard to do sometimes.
You have to take your rational left brain out of what you're getting for the right brain reading, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There will be some sort of ending. Of course, this is our Scorpio card. We're both Scorpio sisters, right? You just
right. Okay, yeah.
So, and we're in Scorpio. There'll be a problem with some sort of communication. There's a little bit of a toss-up with this drama here. There's some gerrymandering. There's something icky. The bully, big, bad guy. Money. I'm seeing a cutaway from the way it was. So if we go with the Death card, which is major, and the World card, I'm going to pick up the three major Arcana cards. We get Death, World, Star.
Oh, wow.
There's a new beginning.
Wow. Okay.
But it's,
yeah, those major cards.
There's going to be a big sword fight.
I could see, I could see that. I mean, Texas is big, you know.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yep.
Even
that would be huge for, you know, it'd be like Georgia flipping or so. I mean, it really would be amazing to have that state flip. So
yes, it would. But especially with Biden wanting to go more for clean energy.
Right.
So, all right. So what do you get for Florida? Let's go with what you got.
I feel like Florida, it's so weird. I feel this pull, like it wants to go to Biden. That's what I feel like. It wants to go to Biden, but I feel like there's something in its way. I feel like there's something, if it's just shenanigans. I mean, it's Florida, right? So you know about Florida, but it's like there's just, I feel like, again, DeSantis comes up for me again, and I feel like there's just some messing with the numbers. So but I feel like it wants to go to Biden. So I feel like maybe he does win it, but it may not go to him. There's a chance they could take it out of his hands. That's kind of what I'm feeling.
Yeah. Okay. So while I was shuffling, while you were seeing and telling us about your vision, then I got the Chariot card, and that's the card that came up for DeSatan. And so he just wants to be in power, in control.
Right.
You know? And there's no doubt in anyone's mind that he's going to do whatever he can to help Trump. He will do whatever it takes, whatever promise.
Right.
His left atrium.
And I also think that Florida would be particularly embarrassing for Trump to lose because he's got Mar-a-Lago. It's his home state now. So I think that, yeah, he'd have a tough time with that one.
So, okay. So I don't think DJT does very well. I flipped it around a little bit to ask how he would do with the Satan. It looks like what you said. He feels really confident, but I don't think he comes out of. I think he's beaten up. But there are so many older people here, and not acknowledging the virus is just crazy. And an elderly, well, I mean, it's not all elderly, of course, but a lot of retired people live.
Right.
And grandpas live in Florida, and you better start telling the truth when people are keeling over. So I don't think.
Right.
So I think it will end up going probably, like you said, popular vote, and hopefully someone will kidnap. No, I'm just kidding. Keep someone will take DeSantis. No. So yeah, he could play with that electoral vote with his place of power. But let's hope not. Let's hope it goes blue.
Yeah, I hope so. And so do you still see Trump losing? I see him losing big. I mean, I keep getting the number 320. I feel like that might be the number that Biden wins by is he might get 320 or around there. But I think that I just keep getting that number for Biden. So
wow, that would be fantastic.
I know, that would be big.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any numbers in that. I know that this election is so important to everyone, but honestly, I've been around these Trumpers for so long that it's really I'm really emotionally invested. So it's very difficult for me.
Yeah.
So, but the last reading I did, I was shocked. It looked like Florida was going to go, there was going to be more Democratic votes than anybody had ever thought possible.
Really? Oh, that would be so great. That would be just great. Because Florida's the thing. I mean, right? If Biden gets Florida, it's pretty much done. There's really not a path.
Yeah. And then I think he has to there's so many, Kornacki gets at that map and just confuses.
Oh, I know.
I know. But it looks like Florida, Pennsylvania, and Arizona are going to be, and North Carolina are going to be like those four really pivotal. But I think you're right. If Trump loses Florida, his chances to victory are.
Yeah, unless something crazy happens, but I just don't think there's a way to get there. So, but man, I'm so ready to just be rid of this man.
I think we all.
It would be such a relief.
It will. And thanks so much for creating your channel and bringing some peace and kindness to all of us that are trapped in some of these areas. We're not really trapped, but we're around people that just refuse to wear masks. They just absolutely refuse.
Ridiculous. I know. Well, you're welcome. And I'm honestly, the community that was built at my channel and a lot on all of the channels, your channel, it's just been so heartwarming to see all of these people that they just want the best. They really have such good intentions. They want the best for the country. We've built these just nice communities of nice people. And it's been they've helped me just as much as I have helped them. So I am very, happy to do it.
Yeah. What are we going to do? Develop their talents and skills and their intuition, and they're empathic, and they're looking for that friendship and understanding that a lot of other people just don't get.
It's true. Yeah, it's absolutely. Well, good. Well, thank you so much, Lori, for doing this. Thank you for your channel. I'm going to be tuning in. Are you going to do anything? Tell us what you're going to be doing in the next couple of days. Are you doing a special election, anything?
I might go live tomorrow for a short period of time. I have been asked to attend Jen Lynn from Jenlyn's Tarot, Johnny from Tarot's Apprentice, and Becca from House of Lenormand, and Ona from Ona's Tarot, Red Lentil, Adrian from Red Lentil Healing, Ganja Tarot, and and Sienna Rose, I think. So we're all going to be just they're the main three. They'll do their hosting, you know, and then we'll sort of filter in and out just for fun. So they invited me.
Oh, that's fun. That'll be great. I think we just need to, kind of hold each other up the next couple of days and get through it, and then, you know, wash our hands of this nightmare.
Thank you so much for having me. The pleasure.
Thank you, Lori. Thanks so much. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody.
Hang in there, you guys.
Hang in there.